Hey, welcome back to this mini lecture. My name is Dino. It's titled False News Rising, Mis, Dis, and Malinformation. First, I'm going to talk about how fake news has evolved, or more accurately, devolved. Um, One study found that fake news can spread 10 times faster than legitimate news. And along that point, the authors of that study, of Sagi, Roy, and Aral, said that fake news also spreads faster than news with a wider reach. So it's, again, both faster and wider reach. For an example, talking about looking into the top 1% of widely spread news tweets, they reached 1,000 to 100,000 people, while true information rarely reached more than 1,000. So you can see that the wide differential. One of the authors of the research, Rawl, states that false news diffuse significantly farther, faster, and broader, deeper in every category of information, which is again pretty alarming. Before I get into the different types of poor quality information, I'm going to go over the DIKW hierarchy. I'll have to work on my alphabet soon. And that stands for data, information, knowledge, and wisdom. First, what is data? It's recorded symbols and signal readings to capture the true picture or a real event. To divide the first part between symbols and signals. Symbols are words, numbers, diagrams, and images, whether they're still or video. Signals, in contrast, they include sensor and or sensory readings of light, sound, smell, taste, and touch. So data can be pretty broad-based. When you go up or down that hierarchy, information that's commonly used, information is a very elastic term. That's a quote from James Gleick's big book, The Information. It is a message with meaning for decisions and actions. Some of the sources for information, they can be either current, such as like current communication, or historical, such as processed data or reconstructed pictures. Information aids in decision making, problem solving, or realizing opportunities. So it's a little bit higher up on the hierarchy. What is knowledge? It can be defined as three things: cognition or recognition, the know what; capacity to act, the know how; and understanding, the know why, that resides or is connected within the mind or in the brain. The purpose of this is normally to better our lives. And on a related note, for the business purposes, it creates or increases value for the enterprise and its stakeholders. What is wisdom? That's in terms of some descriptive terms that help to describe wisdom. Some of them would be being experienced, intuitive, introspective, pragmatic, gentle, understanding, empathetic, intelligent, peaceful, knowledgeable, have a sense of humor, or observant. These descriptive terms can be clustered in two dimensions of what wisdom comprises: either the effective, kind of more emotional, and reflective when you look back on something. So, given that information, knowledge, and wisdom hierarchy, we're going to go into the converse, which is some bad and poor quality information. For example, misinformation is one type of information. That's false information that is not intended to cause harm. That is often passed between people, say on social media, when they just say they see a news story that's incorrect and they pass that along. And they're not intended to cause harm, but just because the information is false, it causes harm. Disinformation is more purposeful. That's false information that is intended to manipulate, cause damage, or guide people, organizations, and countries in the wrong direction. So again, there's more of a deliberate nature for disinformation, as opposed to misinformation, which is more inadvertent and unintentional. Malinformation is information that stems from the truth, but is often exaggerated in a way that misleads and causes potential harm. Probably the most current example of that is various COVID malinformation, where information that's related to COVID-19, the pandemic, and some of the more political tones of that, they're being used. Some information being cherry-picked, some true information being minimized, etc., etc. What can you do when you are confronted with bad information? You want to identify bad information. You might want to ask the following questions. Does this information provoke emotional responses? If it does, it could likely be bad information. Does it make bold statements on a controversy or controversies? If it does, again, most likely bad information. Does it make extraordinary claims? If it does, again, likely bad information. Is it clickbait that you're going to look at and maybe share? Again, bad information. Does it include topical information within context? If it has this within a context and it seems more reasonable, then it's probably good information. Does it exaggerate, distort small pieces of valid information? So that's a really sort of a subtle way to communicate bad information where it's just slightly off. And finally, does it virally spread across unvetted and loosely vetted platforms? So it's kind of saying if you're seeing it on a site that looks a bit sketchy and not trustworthy, it might be bad information. From all this, when you think about fake news, social media, and more online communications, just to reiterate a couple points. Fake news spreads much faster than legitimate news, up to 10 times. Fake news has a wider reach than legitimate news. False news, as are all the a major study of fake news talked about. False news diffuse significantly farther, faster, broader, deeper in every category of information, which is really stunning and bad. And finally, if you're a user or working for a platform, they both need to be vigilant for social media's role in mis, dis, and malinformation. That was False News Rising, mis, dis, and malinformation. Please feel free to tell me if you have any comments on the video. Please feel free to like the video. And please feel free to subscribe if you want to see similar types of videos. Thanks for watching. Take care. My name is Dino. Have a great day.